Hello everybody, welcome back to this series that I'm making for starters on this world of React. Today we're going to talk about props and states and what's the difference between them and the similarities. I wouldn't say there are similarities. The only similarity, or not similarity, but the connection that they can have is that you can pass a state as a prop. You're gonna see how in a minute. So I picked from a random site an avatar image, okay, and that's all I have for start. And I want to create a component called avatar. So we create the component const avatar equals to this. This is not highlighting because it needs to be saved as tsx. Avatar return is just going to return hello, just so we can see it on screen. Then we need to import it. Okay, so here we go. Avatar is not exported, so I'm not gonna be able to import it, right? There are two ways to export it. I can export it as default, like export default avatar, and in this way I will be able to import it with the name I want, whatever name I want. Remember, I have a video about this. Let's see if I can put it on the cards here. So I can say the avatar from avatar, and I can use it. I can render it like return, and I can put here the avatar, but it's called the avatar, and it should say hello. Do you see how I changed the name of the component? I was able to do that because it was exported as default. But if I export it as the regular way, this is not going to work because this is not existing. So the way to import the avatar, I now need to use curly braces and say avatar. Okay. Another thing, and this needs to be avatar. Another thing that I wanted to touch base on, I don't know why the hot refresh is not working, or it's just me. No, it is working. Another thing that I wanted to touch base on is this is a React component, okay? Function avatar return hello. This is also a React component. It's the same. Well, it's not the same. I'm gonna tell you why in a minute. This is in a way of a regular function, and it is a component. It is marking an error because, of course, this is declared twice. Because as you can see, this can work as the avatar component. It is not working right now because it needs to be export function, and it should be working now. So it is a component, but with function. Okay, and the other one is what is this? The other one is a component as well. What is the difference? That one is declared with an array function, and the other one is with the normal regular function. So one thing to keep in mind are the arrow functions have a different scope than the functions. What do I mean by that? I'm gonna just say it very quickly because I want this to be very quick and focus on props and states. But I like to, when I'm talking about a subject, I want to give all of the information that I can about what's happening, especially if you're starting on with React. So this is an arrow function. So the value of this the value of this is the same as the whole component. This has the scope of the whole file, but when you have it here, this has the scope just on the internal function. That's an important thing to know. The distinction between an arrow function and a function is not only the way to write it. Of course, the way to write it is simpler or fancier, but also the scope of this is different. You have to keep that in mind. Another thing to keep in mind is, we're gonna go for arrow functions this time. Another thing to keep in mind is that every component of React should always return or render one node. Okay, so you can go for div, and then you're gonna see the error here. Let's see. What if I want to print two divs? I want to render two divs, and this says A and this says B. It's going to fail. Why? Because every component needs to render one node, one element, one tag. Okay, so that's why some people uses divs to wrap the whole component. We can do that, but the div has a style. The div has an inherent style, and sometimes we don't need or we don't want the style. So what can we do? We can use fragments, and the fragments are this, just an open and closing this minus, then less than, and more than. Just that's a fragment. This is a fragment right here, so you can put everything inside that fragment, and now it's going to render correctly. Why? Because we're returning only one node, one element, one. Okay, so this is important to know, because that is something that is going to be that's a law in React. Okay, so now I want I want to pass some props to my avatar. Okay, so my avatar, I wanted to have my name. My name is going to be here, and it's going to have an image. I'm gonna change this for an image, which is going to receive the URL, and this is giving an error because it has nothing, but we can just give it like that. The error is gone. So now we're going to the props. So the props are received as parameters of the function, like prop. We're going to give it an any for now. Okay, so it is still saying that it's never read. It's not an error, it's just a warning, but we can use prop.name, and there's no error. It's just that I haven't set the name. Okay, so I can send the name here, and the name is going to be Alejandro. So the prop is passing a name, Alejandro, and it is being shown here. The same way I can pass the URL, the avatar URL, and is going to be image avatar. See that? Let's do it in this format so it can be readable. Okay, so we passed the avatar URL and the name Alejandro. So we have access now from prop. We can access to prop avatar URL, and when we save, we see the avatar. See, it's not very good looking, the avatar, because it has no styles, but for the purpose of the video, that makes sense, right? So let's say now let's go for the states. The states are managed in React by thanks to the hook use state. Okay, from React, and states are unmutable, and they are defined by destructuring. The hook use state is defined by a destructuring of the hook. You're gonna see const let's say name, my name, and then is set my name. This is a naming convention. It is like underscore, then camel case, and then set, and then camel case the variable, and then you use the state and initialize it with whatever you want. You can initialize it with Alejandrito. Let's use Alejandrito. So now my name is a state inside my component app, okay? But I can pass it as a prop like this. No, like my name. Okay. And now it is Alejandrito. So this is reading prop.name Alejandrito. Sounds weird, I know, but that's the name I picked. So the props are, it's very weird that I don't think you will ever find a project that still uses this, like prop and then the prop name and then the prop avatar URL. And that's because we all use now destructuring. What is destructuring? This is going to be very easy to explain because we know what props has. Right now we know what prop has. Okay? So props, what does props have? Is prop.name equals to something. I wanted to show you how you cannot edit the prop. It is not editable. It is going to tell you that you suck and you suck and you cannot edit the, where's the error? I want an error like saying you cannot change the property name because it's a prop. You cannot edit it that way. Okay? So now we know that prop is basically an object that has a name, right? And has an avatar URL. Okay? This is the object props right now. The prop, singular, prop is this right now. Okay? So you can do the following. You can do const name with the curly braces, const name, and then avatar URL. Okay, and that comes from prop. That is called destructuring. That's the way it should be named. Okay? Now it is throwing an error because they are unused. We're not using them. So we should use them in order to not be falling into the error of not using it. Having things unused is an error. So you can just delete prop here and prop here. And now you have Alejandrito and the name. Why? Because you destructured the name and the avatar prop, the avatar prop from prop. Right? See the magic happening here? So the other thing is that you're never going to see this anymore in your life, I think. Why? Because you can do the destructuring of prop. You can do it just like this. You can just take the props from here and say name and avatar URL. Okay? And this is working. The error that we're seeing is that it has no type. I think we can do for now we can do an any. for now. TypeScript is very important, but for now we're going to use any. So we have the name and we have the avatar. What did we do? We destructured the prop. This is part of prop and this is part of prop, okay? But we destructured it. So now we just access them like that. So let's say I want to change the name. How will you change the name? Well, the name is a state. The name is a state that is called, well, that is initialized by Alejandrito. So you can use the set my name function for this is a function that, as you can see, this is destructuring from an array. This is an array destructuring my name, and set my name is a function destructured from the hook. And we're gonna see custom hooks and such, but see how all makes sense. It is destructuring things. So set my name can be passed as a prop, just like my name can be passed as a prop. You want a proof of that? So I can say set my name. It can be like that, just set my name equals to set my name, and as it is a function, it turns yellow. And here we can destructure it, set my name. Okay, so it is not being used. How can we use it? We can probably use like an array of const names. This is a name array that I'm gonna create. New Fernando, John, Willie. Okay, Willie. This is an array of names. Okay, so I'm going to put a button here. I'm going to put a button that says shuffle or change name. There's the button. It is not doing anything yet because it has no on click. So we add the on click. On click, you're going to do something. What are you going to do? We're going to set my name to names. Let's say the first one. So right now it is doing it instantly because I am calling it that this is incorrect. You need to do this as an anonymous function. So it won't change. It won't change until you click on it. Okay? So you click on it and it changes to Fernando. So we can use here math random. It returns as zero number between 0 and 1, sorry. So I think we can just do random and multiply it by 3. No, by 10. or by yeah, it is going to be, there's going to be times where this is undefined, because it is going to go to a number bigger than 2. This is 0, this is 1, and this is 2. So let's see what happens. Undefined, 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 undefined. But at some point it should be, you know what? I think we will never get it, because it is the numbers that it is generating are like this, like 12, like 1 dot and such, and we need a math floor for that, so it rounds up the number, like math floor this. So now it's going to return some names, and sometimes it's going to be a number bigger than 10. So let's fill this with names. And now it's changing the names, because it is now a number between 1 and 10. See? So we know now that the props can be a state. This is a state. The props can be a simple string like this, a const string, and the props can be a function, and that function can be called inside a child, the child component. I wanted to do it this way to show you that it is setting names, the names that I want. If I just do I want this name, when I click on it, it changes name. It changes name, this name, this name, and this my name, to I want this name. So I think that's it for states and for props. We can do some other exercises with props and state, but I think this is very important that you have it like the basic concept of a prop and a state very, very clear. What is a state and what is a prop? Okay, so here we have two props, name and avatar URL, and a function which is part of the state. This is a state passed as a prop. This is a normal regular variable passed as a prop, and this is a function passed as a prop, and we're using it. It's a setter function. So I hope this was clear for states and props. So leave, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Click click the like button if you liked it. If you don't like it, if you didn't like it, you can comment. That helps a lot. And see you in the next video. I hope that this was clear enough. Bye.